on.
Be quiet, sir.
There's no crying in baseball.
Is she happy with her large boobs?
That's right, the O&A show coming right at you. Good afternoon, everybody. Hello. 212-757-1027 is our phone number. We should continue our discussion on the air, Anthony, about fantasies. Yes, it came up today at lunch. This all stems from the guy that wanted to bring his wife to his fantasy.
Yeah, we talked to him the other day. Had some girls in the studio, and they were asking this guy on the phone some questions about what he would do in this house with all these naked girls. And he goes, "Oh, can I bring my wife?" And we just started lambasting the guy because it's your fantasy. It's a fantasy, and this guy is so pussy-whipped that he felt he had to include his wife even in his fantasy.
Got ourselves a pretty little faggot. We were just amazed.
Yeah.
Because that's why it's called a fantasy. You can do whatever you want in your fantasy.
Right.
You don't have to worry about your girlfriend or your wife or for you ladies out there, your boyfriend or husband. That's why they call it a fantasy. You can go wherever you want with it.
And he felt compelled to have to ask permission to take his wife with him because she would probably be very pissed off if she wasn't there for his fantasy. It leveled me.
Yeah, exactly.
I couldn't believe somebody could be so puss-whipped.
So then today, I don't want to say where we were. Well, it wasn't. I could say this. One of my fantasy women, gained a little weight,
put on a couple,
and I said, you know what? That can't happen.
Can't happen to a fantasy girl?
Right, and everyone's laughing at the table. I'm like, in your fantasy world, you can't allow a girl to gain a couple pounds.
No.
Maybe in real life, your wife or girlfriend, you give them a little slack.
A little fantasy girl?
A little leeway, if you will. But in the fantasy world, no.
She's got to be perfect.
She's got to be perfect. So, like...
You're a piss.
Well...
So because you were saying
we all see women about our daily day that we consider someone we'd like to just rail, and you think about that as your fantasy girl, right?
That is a fantasy girl,
right?
And then she can't have anything happening to her as far as weight or a blemish.
You know what? The fantasy girl, she can't even get PMS.
No PMS.
She doesn't get her period. She doesn't even get bloated.
But she's just this perfect,
no acne on her face, nothing. She's got to be perfect 24/7.
She's just...
Because she is your fantasy girl.
So you were a little disappointed today.
And she can't have that butt that goes... How do we figure that out today?
Okay, hold your hands. Don't do this if you're driving. Hold your hands.
Anthony came up with something that's just brilliant.
Well, because we were looking at your fantasy girl.
Right, and this is where
this is what was happening.
This is where the problem is.
This is where the couple of pounds tacked on.
She gained a little weight on the size of her butt.
Right, the size of the butt. So I went, okay, it went from this.
Watch this, Rick. Well, show Rick. I know it's a visual, but just by the reaction that Rick makes, you'll understand that this is really, really funny.
Try it at home.
Okay.
Hold your hands out in front of you and bent at the elbow so they're up. In front of you, and make like the shape of the sides of an ass,
of a fantasy ass, where it's kind of like it has a nice slight curve to it, like that, right, Rick?
See the curve. Your hands are slightly cupped, as if you were just brushing the sides from her. You get her waist, and
almost like your hands are on the side of an hourglass, and just a little bit bent.
Fingers are pointing up now, people. Not straight out. They're pointing up.
Watch this.
So, and your hands are cupped.
You got
that ass.
You're gonna
right. Now, a couple of pounds on the fantasy girl, it does this. Slowly make your hand even more cupped. See what happens?
Yeah, but you do it in such a way where you jam your finger straight down and it makes a sharp
it goes
point.
like this. See? You don't want that. want that. Not that.
I know it's a visual, but Rick, how funny is that?
No. You go from a gentle cup to almost bending at your knuckles at almost a 90-degree angle.
Because you see these girls in the mall all the time. They've got the jeans on, and all of a sudden their ass gets to a point.
Yeah, they're 2 points.
That's
sticking out.
That's pretty much what Anthony's doing with his little visual, making the ass. All of a sudden, it's pointed on the side. Pointed. He was doing this at lunch today, though. He had the perfect, ass with the curve, and then he would go. Then he would go. Wah, wah, make the point. Let's go to Adam. Adam, what's going on?
Yeah, I want to know. You're saying that the perfect girl doesn't get PMS. I want to know, does she go to the bathroom at all either?
Oh, no.
No, because the perfect girl doesn't do anything disgusting. She doesn't burp. She doesn't fart.
Adam.
And no bodily functions either.
Unless you're into that, as far as the fantasy goes.
Well, I'm not, so mine doesn't.
See, that's why it's a fantasy, because, anything goes that you want.
Well, she's a perfect 105 pounds, 34C, and not a hair below her head.
Does your fantasy girl gain weight when you're having these fantasies? Never. Thank you.
I have two. Mary Kate and Ashley.
Tom, you're next on WNEW.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Hey, buddy.
I got a great gauge for the ass thing that you guys are talking about.
Yeah.
If you put your two thumbs together and you put your pinkies out, you make like a W.
Okay.
And if you put your two thumbs right in the middle, you should be able to fit the sides with your pinkies.
Sides with your pink, like that?
Like if you're looking at her straight from behind. She's got the butt's got to fit in that gauge.
Oh, I got you.
So that's like your gauge. It's a little check mark. If it hangs outside the end, toss her out. It's done.
Now, are you spreading your fingers?
Well, yeah, you don't have to be a little tiny thing, but you can get your hands
All right, you
pretty
get
far
a
out
little
there.
leeway. What if the points of the side, the points of the side cheeks stick out?
Oh, it's a gauge, man. It's not perfect. It's
a gauge.
It's a judgment,
Like a benchmark, just something to work off of.
I mean, if you got to do that and you got to flip your hands over to get the other cheek in, she's done.
Right. All right, thank you, buddy.
All right, man.
Bye.
Oh, brother.
So we were pretty much discussing how this girl is no longer part of my fantasy lineup because she gained a couple pounds.
So you just throw her to the wayside?
Well, yeah, it's a fantasy.
Well, yeah, but what about her the way you remember her?
No, because I got the last visual of her.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah. So now she's got the pointy butt that juts out on the sides.
Did she have a freckle behind her knee, brother?
Speaking of him,
Cowbell Bill.
he called me at home today.
Yeah.
He has a story. He said he's going to try to call in today. He's down in Florida for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
He saw 80-year-old taint.
Ooh, brother, I was ready to... Javier.
80-year-old taint.
Hey, Joe Buzz.
So I go, come on, how do you see 80-year-old taint?
Right.
What is the circumstance where you see that area between the two you-know-whats? He says that when the old ladies down in Florida are gardening and weeding and stuff, they don't bend at the knee.
They don't bend at the knees?
So basically...
So they just bend over?
And what was he? And they wear the big moo-moos to begin with.
Oh, like the house coat with nothing underneath?
Well, I guess there's panties and stuff, but now with the bend, without bending the knees, stuff just starts, popping out.
Oh.
So he saw 80-year-old taint.
Wow, that's harsh.
And he told me today, I was spitting up coffee. I was laughing so hard. You gotta call the show and tell us about 80-year-old taint. Colin, what's going on?
How you doing? You guys are hilarious.
Cool.
Listen, that guy stuck your thumb so you got to put his pinkies up. It's called the ass caliper.
Ass caliper.
The ass caliper. Like a caliper for measure, it's called the ass caliper.
So you put your thumbs together, spread your hands out. Oh,
Yeah,
Rick, like I'm going to use the ass caliper on you. And then
That's hilarious.
it does
All right, guys,
vary based on how you hold your hand.
Yes,
Oh.
it varies on how you hold your hand, how big your fingers are. That's a gauge for guys.
It's a gauge.
Yeah, but see, I think you're missing the point. We're just talking about, regular women and fantasy women. And there's no leeway with the fantasy women. They can't be gaining weight on us and having the PMS and the bloating and stuff.
No.
But like your lady, you'll give her a little leeway. You understand?
Just a little bit.
But you know. All right, thank you.
I gotta get going. Thanks, guys.
This guy said he broke his finger trying your little trick. Eric, what's up?
Hey, guys.
Hey.
I just did what you told me to do, you know, with the fingers.
Yeah.
My hands are locked. I'm very injured.
It's kind of hard, you know. You gotta go like this, and then you go.
Because we're not going for the. You can't really.
You said the fingers are pointing upward.
Yeah.
I'm doing that. I can't unlock my fingers.
Slightly cupped so you make the edges of the ass.
And
right.
Like the hip area tight below there.
And the fingers go straight down, so then it makes that point.
The fingers go down. Now you make the point.
You're not bending at the fingers, because that's too easy. You just... There
Keep your fingers straight, and you bend at your knuckles.
Why don't you put it on not the span?
Maybe we'll have to take some digital pictures and show people how it's done.
And on that 80-year-old taint,
yeah,
I'm sure she was wearing a sundress with nothing on it.
Oh, be a better way to describe it.
Thank you, bro.
If her ass looks like the Joker's smile, because that's kind of what I'm doing with my fingers here. Wait till they get a load of me. Then there's a problem.
But you broke that out at lunch today, man. That's classic.
Lois, because the fantasy girl was there. Lois.
Oh, thanks a lot, guys. You know, only 10 minutes of show, and let's see, I've broken my wrist trying to do that trick with the fingers, and I just heaved into the dumpster thanks to the taint that's 106 years old.
80 years old.
80-year-old
Oh,
taint.
well, 80 years old. Big difference.
Lois, very popular on the message board.
Yeah, I know. Thank you, Lois.
Take care, dude.
All right.
Bye.
They hate him. It's hysterical.
The difference between 80-year-old taint and 106-year-old taint, there's still some elasticity to the
80-year-old taint.
106, there's none left.
No, I think in both cases, it's kind of like that rubber band you find behind your car seat. It just kind of goes, crumbles.
Yeah, and you stretch it out and it just breaks.
Nothing left.
Nothing. It's just dust pops out.
Done.
Doug, what's going on?
What's up, guys? Hey, oh,
Yeah.
the fantasy girl.
Yeah.
Would you rather give up a little bit of the body over the years or the face?
No, man. Fantasy girl is what it is. They're like the Sports Illustrated swimsuit models.
Yeah, but
they don't give up anything. They got everything's perfect.
But if you had to give up something, would you give up the body a little bit or the face?
That's his point. You don't have to.
You don't have to. Do you guys have fantasies?
Yeah.
Are you bringing my wife? Are you bringing your wife to your fantasy?
Oh, no. What am I, a moron?
Can I bring my lawyer to my fantasy? No.
I understand what you're saying.
Doug, when you're having one of those moments and your fantasy girl is in your dreams, all of a sudden she's getting uglier?
No, I understand what you're saying now. Okay. All right, relax. Take it easy.
All right, I'm just asking.
Imagine you sitting there just like, I got to get out of this fantasy. What's it going to take? This girl turned into a raving bitch. My God.
See, that's someone that
shut up. She cut her hair all short in the dyke cut. What are they doing that for?
We got to get Jay on the phone. He has a whole bit on that.
On the girls that cut their hair into the dyke cut after you hook up with them?
Pretty much what Jay says. Our good friend from Boston. He goes, there are couples that are married for a while. When they met, they both were thin and in shape or whatever. They look better, let's say. And then the years go by, and let's say your wife, she's now your wife, she kept her hair nice and long, how you met her and stuff, or in that nice hairstyle. But slowly but surely, the hairstyle changes and gets shorter and shorter and shorter. And, one morning you wake up and your wife looks like your buddy Bob.
Right, like a man.
He's got, he. Like might as well call him a he at this point. She's got a guy's haircut.
And she just gave up.
And somewhere in there, you're like, where did it all go wrong?
When did you give up?
I was married to a woman. Now she looks like my friend Pete.
You ever see that? What the hell is... They just cut it off and really short on the sides, short on top, and then their explanation sometimes is, well, it's just easier this way.
Right.
I didn't hook up with easy.
No.
Well, yeah, kind of did. I didn't hook up with easy, like maintenance, with a chick like that,
Yeah.
As the guy. You would say, what the hell are you doing?
Right.
It's not like all of a sudden...
But see, it's the guy's fault, though, because you saw the signs coming. I mean, she was cutting it an inch shorter every year.
Oh, and what are you going to do? Say something bad about the girl's appearance?
Well, you got to, step in before it's too late.
It's a new can of worms, Opie.
What's worse, cutting it short on top or letting it go down below?
That probably goes hand in hand, because a girl that would cut her hair on her head because it's easier to deal with isn't cutting down below because it's easier to just let it rock and roll down there.
Let it ride.
So before you know it, you're with A Wookiee down below. Let your freak flag fly. Tony, what's going on?
What's up, O&A?
Hey.
Thanks, Wild Bill Hillcock, for that friggin' taint story.
Wild Bill Hillcock.
Yeah, Wild Bill Hillcock's not even here, and he's grossing everyone out.
Hey, brother. I saw 80-year-old taint.
I think what he said was he'll tell the story when he gets back, and I'm like, you know what? It's too good. We got to go on the radio with it.
Yeah.
He's coming back in like 2 weeks.
We got the visual. We need the story.
Yeah.
All right, dude, quick story for you. My ex-girlfriend goes away to Cancun. I'm with her. Long hair down to her ace. Comes back home. She has the effing Dorothy Hamill bullhead haircut. I said, what's next? You're going to grow a mustache and get tattoos, you friggin' gas gobbler?
The Dorothy Hamill cut.
It happens.
She went from supermodel to super dyke.
You see those couples around all over the place where all of a sudden the woman has like really short hair. I'm sitting there like, how is that attractive?
And all the girls that she gets together with that all have the same haircut, they just compliment each other so that they think it's good because it's good in their little circle. But believe me, no guy is looking at that going, yeah, that's the cut. That's the one I like.
No name guy. After 10 years, wife cut her hair like a guy. See?
Yeah.
What's up, buddy?
Anthony, Opie.
Yeah.
10 years. It's one thing if it's your girlfriend because you could always dump her. But 10 years with kids, one day it's good, the next day, bobs. Like a bob cut. You know what I mean? Like right behind, you know, the back of the neck, the back?
Yeah.
It goes up on an angle a little bit.
Yeah.
That's what I got to contend with now.
Oh, you got it's like a little weird wedgie thing happening.
Exactly. Diked out.
And nothing better than the DA on a girl.
Exactly.
Oh, that's good. You're tagging her from behind. Bob, bang, dang, dang,
Thank you very much for that. What am I going to do?
But now she looks like she could be one of your friends from behind, right?
Thank you very much for that.
All right, man.
All right, then.
I'm telling you, we hit on a nerve. Fred, what's up?
Hey, guys, what's going on?
Hey.
I used to go away like for 3 weeks at a time when I was married. And so, call home and check in and say, hey, what's going on? She's like, I want to get my hair cut. I'm like, okay, it was down below her shoulders, kind of nice. I came back, I thought I was married to a dyke. It was just awful. And was behind her, I called her Bob, so I might as well be in prison, but she didn't have the sense of humor she used to anymore.
No, they love it. It's easy. It's so easy to take care of now. It only takes 5 minutes to shampoo and condition.
Oh, but it's nice and flowing, but now it's like, yo, Butchie, what's up? Let's go play some catch.
There you go. All right, Fred, thanks.
Have a good day, guys.
Ladies, if you learn anything today, keep your hair nice and long.
You know what's even worse? When they do get it cut and they get it buzzed in the back, and then you go and touch it, it feels like a crew cut, like...
Oh, that's what you want. When you're running your fingers through your chick's hair, so it feels like a crew cut. Believe me, girls, there's plenty of time. If you live long enough, you're all going to end up with that big, puffy, white cotton head. Like every old lady out there. So why blow it early by getting your hair cut short? You know grandmas. Either that, because there's only 2 hairdos for old women. There's the big puffy cotton one, and then the scary witch gray long straight hair. That looks so great on old women.
You have whatever, I wouldn't say.
What?
But there's something like, I don't know, attractive about that.
About what? The straggly gray long hair?
You know they're old, but you're like, okay, at least, she's still trying. She's a goer, right?
Oh, she goes because she's got the long hair?
Hell, man. I don't know. I think you guys are looking at this from one angle, but think about it this way. When a girl cuts her hair that short, you don't have to worry about holding the hair out of the way anymore.
Oh, please. Like, that's a problem?
Yeah, well, just...
And now you're nitpicking.
It's a little
nitpicking.
A little more convenient.
Yeah, that's a problem. Get her a scrunchie and let's rock. But cutting the hair off.
I would rather she looks like it's my friend going down on me.
Joe, there's not... God. Well, Joe, think about it. You don't get hair in the way of the glory hole either.
It also depends on the girl. If you're thinking about like a Giselle Bundchen with a real short haircut, who cares?
Is that why you cut your hair, Joe, to keep the hair out of the way? John, what's going on?
Yeah, listen, by the time they get their hair cut that short, you don't have to hold it out of the way no more because they ain't doing that no more.
So your equation, short hair equals no more.
Yeah.
Remember that equation for what did we learn today? Thank you.
Okay.
All right, let's get a few ladies on the air. Veronica. Veronica, what's up?
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
I'm working on a ladder, and you guys are, making me nearly fall off this thing. I'm laughing so hard.
Ladder?
One way for guys to make sure that ladies groom downstairs is to keep ladies happy downstairs. That way that doesn't get too long. And, if you're happy, you're going to do what your husband wants.
So that's another equation. Keep the lady...
your hair longer and pretty and, pay attention to the ladies.
So keep the lady happy downstairs and she'll keep it nice and trimmed.
Yeah, big whoop, no one cares.
No one cares. I thought you guys were just complaining about it.
You're a girl.
I love that one. Thank you, Veronica.
All right.
That's a whole new argument there. We're not talking about girls that aren't being sexually satisfied or guys that aren't or couples. It's just, this is plain and simple.
What about when you're dating and stuff and like you bring like that girl home from the bar and stuff and it's like unwrapping a package, you don't know what you're going to get down below and sometimes you're horrified. It's like a poo rack full of afro hair. You know what I'm saying, though? Because you like it one, maybe a couple different ways, and if it's not one of those ways, and you unwrap the present,
my God,
good God,
what's that? Fidel Castro spitting out some hubba bubba?
Oh, it's not even that. It's the couple of beers. All of a sudden, the jeans come off, and you're like,
oh, a penis, right, Rick? Oh, very good.
oh.
All right, let's take a break. We'll be back. Give us a call, 212-757-1027.
Opie and Anthony, 1027 WNEW.
Way to leave you. Now with the sounds of Montana and me making my face look like a glazed donut before I get back to my wife. The sounds of the elusive bearded clam. Me trying to shuck the hell out of that bearded clam. I usually don't say things like that, but I'll leave you this Sunday morning with the sounds of me giving her the old pile drive. So now, pictures and sounds of me and the pile drive on my mistress in Montana. On the road I prefer. Pictures now of the Hershey Highway. Visited that in Montana lots, the Hershey Highway. My wife often thought I was fishing on my trips to Montana. And it's true I was. Here's the sound of the trouser trout coming out of my trousers as I pound some ass. And now the sounds of me pounding ass with my Montana crotch rat. We leave you now. The sounds of me and my mistress and me shooting a tray up in that piece. And now, finally, the sounds of my mistress hobbing my knob. We don't often leave you with the sounds of knob hobbing. I figured this is a good time to leave. And now the sounds of me and my knob being hobbed. Charles Kuralt on the road. Hob, knob. Now the sounds of a purple helmet warrior going into battle again against the dreaded bearded clan.
Montana crotch rat.
Yes, the Montana crotch rat. God, I wish she shaved. A little personal hygiene in the groin area, so it wouldn't look so much like a possum. That woman looks like roadkill. It's like the last time I saw woodchuck caught in a combine. Red and brown and whatnot. Now the sounds of a woodchuck being caught in a combine. Leave you. I mentioned she looks like she had Einstein's head in a leg lock. Trim that. This is the first time I made love to her. Pulled those panties down and looked like Fidel Castro eating a London broil. Used to have a lot of sex in my car. Yes, gave her Spanish fly once. I found her on the gear shift. Now the sounds of my girlfriend on the gear shift will leave you. Yes. I just wish she was a little better with the hygiene. Sort of looked like when you take two big pieces of silly putty, slap them together, and throw them on the floor of a barber shop. All pink and hairy.